immigration, you're called racist, and everybody on the left, or those that approve of it, try and make it out to be a racist or religious problem. You're a phobic, whatever. But I'm going to read you something now that absolutely lets you off the hook 100% when it comes to discussing immigration and the problems that we're faced with in this country. The problems we're faced with are the country doesn't manage the immigration. That's the problem. And that lack of forethought to the problem, basically, it's a domino effect. It has this knockdown effect on all the other services that we use. Housing, schools, the healthcare, everything, even the availability of actual benefits. I'm going to read you something now. It's eye-watering statistics from a journalist, I think he's called Peter North. He blogs quality stuff. He has a few rants, they're really good. This is mainly detailed, but I want you to listen to this, because this is what's happening in this country. And if you want to make a note, because I will make a note of this and then I'll use it in arguments when people are trying to call me names. Here we go. The amount lost to fraud by the Department of Work and Pensions in this country is truly gobsmacking, and driven by universal credit fraud, which was responsible for 6.5 billion in 1 year alone. Almost 10 billion was overpaid in benefit payments in 2022 to 23. That was up from 8.3 billion the year before. This is a lot of money. Some of the more egregious crimes of benefit fraud, are the result of organised crime. In 2024, one gang admitted £53.9 million of fraudulent claims. One individual was found to be responsible for £25 million worth of losses to the taxpayer and was sentenced to 8 years imprisonment. 4 other gang members were also sentenced to between 3 years and 7 years in prison. The fraud saw thousands of Bulgarians transported over to London, often by plane at the gang's expense, to make claims for universal credit. Their IDs would be used to start the claim, and application with fraudulent tenancy agreements, employment records, GP letters of evidence of children. Investigators believe that the initial benefit payment, or at least some of it, would go to the claimant, but that subsequent recurring monthly payment would be collected by the gang, who would often withdraw it in cash from hundreds of different bank accounts. These claims were supported by an array of foreign documents, including fictitious tenancy agreements, counterfeit payslips, and forged letters from landlords, employees and GPs. If the claims were rejected, the fraudsters would try again and again until they were granted. That's what the CPS said. The investigation identified 3 benefit factors. In the Wood Green area of North London, where repeated false claims for benefits originated, the businesses claimed to assist people with obtaining a national insurance number and benefits to which they were entitled. 10 billion last year in benefit fraud. Imagine if we had politicians that, instead of wasting our time talking about trivia, talking about net zero, talking about electric vehicles, talking about garden cities, talking about anything but what's important, if we actually had politicians that addressed issues like this. This is a great big massive loophole that's still being abused. It's still going on. It hasn't stopped. That's just one gang that's been caught, one of many. £10 billion in 1 year, 8 billion the year before that. Because the way we do it, one of the big attractions to coming to Great Britain, it's not just being able to come over as an individual and seep into the system and draw from it. It's because it's so easy to infiltrate the system in this kind of manner. It's so easy to work on the black. It's so easy to forge your identity. You can't get away with it the same in France. And you certainly can't get away with it in Austria. So we want politicians to address these issues. If you want to see the written text of what is said, to memorise it better, I've shared it on my Facebook page. First paragraph, just add it for me. This is a government department that's so wide open to abuse and seem to be basically toothless tigers in handling it. Imagine if they'd sorted this out. They wouldn't. That's your money you should have sent to Africa, not the pensioners, not the winter fuel allowance. You wouldn't need to take the cap off the social care allowance if you handled stuff like this better. This is shameful. The civil servants in charge of that department should be sacked for allowing this to go on. Because I do believe with a bit of surface investigation you could have found out that these are not genuine people. That's what's wrong with our immigration system, and that's what should be addressed, because they are not immigrants. They are not coming here to join in the country. The patsies in a gang fraudulent scheme, and there's thousands and thousands of them.